of the fact of it's triggering. There's a lot of triggering energy happening for a lot of people, and they're not allowing themselves to process their emotions through the trigger. Aquarius, happy birthday. So here's your very news. So I had asked for a song, and this was like when I was in the shower one day, and the Freshman of the Year song came on by 42 Doug, right? And I was like, what? Not magazine drop on bag, bitch. So let me go ahead and say this. There was a point in time where Aquarius went through the most because of the fact of so many planets were in Aquarius. And I'm speaking of this last year. And last year, there were so many things in Aquarius that I had told Aquarius, you don't have no choice but to handle business, because at this point, you're wasting your time. And the energy that I feel is, for one, there is this energy of rebirth for you. And when I say rebirth, this is the energy to where you actually start making moves, adjustments. And this time, for some reason, it's not coming from what you're used to of you being very logical. This time, this is coming from a very spiritual inclined place. Because when the Freshman of the Year came on, it gives me like, you're comfortable in 3D. You're comfortable on land. When it was time for you to move into spiritual, I feel like that's where it took a little bit of so there's a sink or swim energy, I feel. There's a sink or swim energy happening in the collective. Either people are either swimming in this shit or they're not. Because the word for your season is adaptation or adapt. I know it's one of those, but it was to adapt. And I had explained that some of you guys at this time where you were seeing 222, like you were seeing 222, you weren't just adapting to your current circumstances. You were adapting to the energy of the timeline that you had just hopped into. You were getting adapted to that. And the issue behind a lot of the adapting was the fact of you couldn't see what was being produced underground. So it gives me like a farmer. A farmer doesn't fully know how his crop is going to look until his crop, actually starts producing. And this is an energy that I feel like a lot of y'all have been in, even in the collective. I feel like the energy has been very like, I can't see what's being produced. So since I can't see it, what I'm going to do is tie myself around in all these thoughts. I do feel like there was an energy of overthinking. In one of my videos that I posted in Daily Glitter, it was before Aquarius season happened. I was like, Aquarius season is going to be about the 4th, the 8th, and the 11th house. The 4th house rules the home. It rules the mothering energy, the nurturing Cancer. And then, Cancer is the moon, things that are hidden. And then the 8th house rules power, karma, debt. And then the 11th house is the community. What I was trying to say was, in that other video, and it's funny because all those videos that I posted about all the Daily Glitters, I posted them after the fact. So my texting app got those videos before I put them out to the public. So the public saw those videos like a week, 2 weeks after I had already posted those or whatever. And that's the energy that I feel. I feel like there's this thing of like, you're really ahead. You know what I'm saying? People are having to keep up and catch up. It's time to shine. It's time to put things in motion. And the why it's now time to put it in motion is because before things can physically happen, they have to happen up here first. You've already created how some of these crops will look. And it's not that you created it in the sense of like illusion or something. You created it because God has shown you it. God has shown you exactly what you needed to do. So I feel like I had been telling them, if you were feeling a lot of heavy energy up to the full moon, you didn't release anything, because you should have felt very free and loving and graceful. And that's only if you were in an energy of that Leo of obedience. If you weren't in an obedient like energy during this time, or during like the last couple of weeks, well, because look, 4 of Cups. This is how a lot of y'all were looking last week. A lot of y'all were looking like there's no opportunity, there's nothing here. Some of y'all sat there like this and looked over and seen that bowl and was like, what's that? And the hand was like, So some of y'all took that bowl and you've been sitting with that bowl by yourself for a minute. You know exactly what's in the bowl. You know exactly what's been created. You know everything. So therefore, it's just like now you're just kind of sitting with a bowl. Like, and others of you, I feel like you're allowing a lack of confidence to have you not, because see, the thing about it is you've tried to look through all 3 of these bowls and nothing was in there. You looked in that bowl, it was empty. Turn it over, nothing came out. Maybe like a drop came out. Then the second bowl, you get excited. But I'm trying to tell y'all, this bowl got everything in it. And some of y'all have taken that bowl and you did everything. And I remember I told everybody, you was going to have the resources to take care of things, all that. All you had to figure out is the what. You had to get down to the what. I had another video that I posted and I was like, some of y'all need to learn how to strategically lie to people. Because if you know what's in your bowl and you just start telling people what's in the bowl, the ingredients and shit like that, normally that either can, even if they unintentionally do this, they can shed evil eye, they can shed envy, they can shed all types of negative, opinionated energy. That's why I kept trying to tell y'all, it wasn't that you had to like if you, moving in silence doesn't mean you just ignore people all the time. Sometimes you don't ignore people because it's not like everybody in your corner is bad. But even though not everybody in your corner is bad, you don't tell everybody everything. That was one of the biggest lessons that y'all had to learn. Y'all are so emotionally driven, but so detached from whatever you feel that it makes you never have an in-between. You're either like, fuck you, I hate you, or you're like, I love you and I give you everything. You don't have an in-between. And it's not that you have an in-between of like, I hate you, but you need to have an in-between of, you don't never let nobody know what you got going on. That's law. That's cooked up for a lot of y'all. Real bad. In a good way, though. See that key? She got her ass up. She turned the key. But do you see what I'm saying about this ascension? A lot of ascension happened towards the end of January. The end of January was a really rough month for a lot of people because of the fact of you were being physically detached from an old energy. You were being physically detached from an old timeline. You were physically, regardless, like it was spiritually happening, but it was things in the physical. So like your body was changing, your work was changing, your house was changing, but specifically your body. You see how these spirits are coming together? That's what was happening. A lot of pressure in the heart, a lot of like mending and releasing and like reforming of the heart. It was a lot of reforming of the heart. After the full moon, the things that your heart felt, your heart was actually opening up to the new energy. Adapting to the new climate of how you breathe, the oxygen. You know, one thing I realized is my sinuses are open completely now. Because I told you we're working with the third eye. So working with the third eye, you have to just be able to see through a lot of things, see through illusions, peep. You know what I'm saying? Keep it, play it, peep it. You know, one thing that I realized is like, they're moving a lot of things without us realizing it. And like, if we stay in this mentality, you're going to miss this entire process. So like example, if you're dating right now and like, you know, things are going good and all of a sudden like the person just ghosts and there's nothing to happen, that's because this is happening. But if you stay so much in this lack mentality of, oh, I'm not good enough and all this type of things, you're going to miss this beautiful process. This energy that Uranus has, it has a beautiful process happening. And they keep saying like that, beautiful process. Beautiful process. You literally ascend from the 5 to the 6. There's a beautiful process happening. You know, some of y'all, this process is happening so you can get your shit together. Jesus Christ. You steady always thinking for somebody else. You know, I feel a lot of Captain Save-A-Hoes. Like, y'all always trying to save somebody. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't save everybody. It's a difference between helping somebody and saving somebody. Some of y'all you just gotta save them. They don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, people going through big traumatic things and all of a sudden you feel like you're going through a big traumatic thing too. How are you going to help somebody right now? You know, that's one thing I've had to learn. I'm so used to fixing everything. Whatever needs to be fixed, I fixed it. The way I've released that, even in my business, I felt kind of guilty that I haven't posted anything. I haven't said anything, but what I felt the need to send, I did. But other than that, I haven't. I don't care about the engagement on TikTok, the engagement on Instagram, the engagement on Twitter. I don't care. I just been doing me because I felt like at the point of there was this energetic thing of people that needed you. People don't need anything from you. And y'all have to learn that. Enjoy yourself. I told y'all, enjoy yourself for a while. You know what I'm saying? That's one thing that I can feel from a lot of Aquarius placements. You don't enjoy yourself. You might like being alone, but you don't enjoy yourself. See Earth magic, fearlessness, removing obstacles, another 8. You don't enjoy yourself. And this is for a time when you're supposed to be doing your big one. A lot of moving. You're moving, physically moving. If you don't move this month, you'll be moving in Pisces season. Some of y'all, things are going to switch. And so I see this 2 ways. Some of you guys, things are being implemented now because it's time. It's time. Others of you, things will be like, okay, some of you guys, you're prepared to move to the next stage, next timeline. So it's happening now. Others of you, you're preparing to be washed and purified, and you're getting prepared for battle now. Okay, some of you guys are war ready. So those that are war ready, you're being deployed. Thank you, Spirit. Those that are war ready, you're being deployed. So you're going from whatever you were stationed at, and now you're going to where they need you. That's happening because, yeah. The horses give me movement. Some of y'all are not prepared for battle. Clairvoyance, inspiration, interpretation, and trust. Another 8. She sits there and she waits for the clairvoyance is something that you've heard from God. It's a messages from God. And I told them that going towards Pisces season, a lot of y'all like psychic abilities are being heightened because you can prepare for war. I'm just going to read this really quickly. I read it before, but y'all need to hear this because it is what it is. Because some of y'all, I think you're misinterpreting what's happening. I think you're overthinking what's happening. Others of you guys, you know exactly. It takes me back here. You're misinterpreting. I don't really know what's in this bowl, and I don't really think I should do. You know what I feel like? I feel like they've given you guys half of the pieces for you to figure out. So, like, example, if you're supposed to be getting a new job, they've only told you to like do your resume and like quit your last job. They haven't told you like what's the next job, or you know what I'm saying? They might have had you do something temporary, like like DoorDash, Uber, or yeah, or something like that. So you like clearly this is not my end goal. So like, where's the end goal? And it's like, excuse me, thank you. Thank you. Or it makes me think of what I was telling you about that safe place thing. The clairvoyance makes me think of Harriet Tubman. Even though she wasn't like, she moved off instinct. Like, you know, you might have was told to move from, like, you might was told to move out somewhere, move into here. And then like, you like, okay, so what am I going to do next? They like, don't worry. You was given information for a city, for a place. You were just supposed to start looking for places. That's all you're supposed to do. Just look for a place you want to do. And like, start doing research on the area, start doing this, figuring out a budget. But like, it was really weird because like, for one, you might not even have all the money for it. You might not have it. It don't matter. I'm trying to tell you, you've gotten half of this because of the fact of the rest of it's being worked out. The reason why they only gave you half is because of when you get the rest of it, like, if all the information comes at once, you're not going to learn, you're not going to know how to process it. Okay. The process, I'm trying to tell you. And in this card, let me just read it so it can I can release what I'm trying to say. The Oracle of Delphi gazes into her scrying bowl, patiently waiting for the images to take shape. She knows that a message is coming, so she remains peaceful and unafraid. There are 2 steps of her process, however. Once she receives the information, which often comes in the form of a riddle, she must interpret its meaning. This process applies to your intuitive experience as well, whether you realize it or not. You do have the ability to receive important messages from spirit. You also have the wisdom to make accurate interpretations. This card is telling you that it's time to let go of old doubts and open up to your own clairvoyant process. The word process keeps coming up. Like the Oracle with her scrying bowl, you might find it helpful to use specific tools and techniques. Perhaps you will be called to read Oracle cards or pursue mediumship. Whatever form of your intuitive process may take, let yourself be a trusting receiver. Then take your time interpreting the message. It may seem complex at first, like you're putting the pieces of a jigsaw puzzle together. But if you relax, let go of the need to perform and the need to be right, soon as the answers you seek will become clear. Soon the answers you seek will become clear. There is something you must know about your oracle powers. There is no wrong seeing. I remember I kept telling you that your intuition is at the all-time high. So like, that's why I said don't overthink. Don't be in this 5 of Pentacles because you're missing the process. I told you, because, you know, basically taking somebody else's actions as a reflection of who you are as a person, that comes from a lack mentality, a low self-esteem. And if you guys have been working on your spiritual esteem, then you already see things from a whole nother perspective to not allow yourself to muggily and egotistically be held down. You thinking like example, you thinking that you know, you and this person broke up. It's like, damn, I guess I just wasn't shit to them whole time. It's because the next person you meet is your husband. You thinking that them firing you from your job because Aquarius rules Uranus, which is dynamic change. It's a rebel. There's this energy where Uranus being in Taurus has been literally being a little bit like of a mischievous energy, because Taurus is hardworking. It's the possessions. Basically, what's been happening is it's been knocking over everything that has you at a lack of self-worth. Even if people aren't up to par with your energy. Yes, people get knocked down because they also aren't up to par with you. It's not always that you, because, you know, yes, everything is a reflection. And yes, you could see yourself in other people, but there is a point in time where if the Lord, this is the third eye, this is the higher perspective. They might not match the energy that you are about to be in. That's what I'm trying to tell you. This is all a movement, adapting. They adapted to the old version of you. They were cool to the old version of you. But this version of you, it doesn't work. So it's not a reflection of that you're less than or they're less than. It doesn't match. It makes me think of another message that I had where I told y'all that people like different people that you guys are like friends with. It's not that you guys have beef. It's no problem. But at the same time, like it just has to happen because the growth that is needed for them. The same way I kept trying to tell y'all about those friends you're going to find out who the real villain is. You're finding out the real villain because that person took somebody else's growth personal. Instead of them seeing the problem within themselves, they created a problem amongst multiple people, and that wasn't the case. So it was kind of like Hood Hiller made a tweet. She says, how are you willing to forgive if you aren't willing to forget? That's why I told y'all forgiveness is a myth. Because me forgiving you, I still feel this sense of betrayal. So therefore, I have to forgive myself for where I lack boundaries, where I lack the ability to have, a voice. So I can forget how this even happened, because I have to take account. I can't be accountable for what you've done. I can only be accountable for what I allowed. You see what I'm saying? That's the energy that a lot of Aquarius is. You always trying to be Captain Save-A-Ho, but you realize you allow that energy. I told you, people want to know, what are you doing? If you're in this energy of feeling very free and you feel very like rebellious to like the norm right now, you're exactly where you need to be. And you're not in that in the sense of trying to boost your ego. You're in that out of happiness, out of peace. One of the verses that I kept reading, hold on, I'm gonna finish this. One of the verses that I kept reading, hold on. John 14:27. Peace I leave with you. My peace I now give and bequeath to you. Not as the world gives do I give to you. Do not let your hearts be troubled, neither let them be afraid. Stop allowing yourself to be agitated and disturbed, and do not permit yourself to be fearful and intimidated or cowardly or unsettled. That's law. I realized that like questions make a lot of y'all nervous. Like, strategically lying makes you feel bad. Why? It's not like you're lying out of vain. It's a Bible verse about that the Lord knows the truth. But even the Lord says, when you give to others, you don't even allow your closest friend, your neighbor, even your left hand to know what you're doing. The Bible has a lot of street smarts in it if you just look at it from a different perspective. Just because y'all homies, just because y'all family, don't mean you tell them everything. And if, you know what I'm saying, like, the Lord knows why you're saying what you're saying. That's what the Lord knows, your intention behind everything. So if you're lying to just lie to hurt somebody, then that's where it becomes a sin. But if you're lying out of protection, that's one thing that I remember we were on live and we were talking about how Libras lie. And somebody was like, yeah, Libras lie to protect themselves. I said, no, Libras lie because they think that they're protecting themselves, because Libras are we people. Aries are I people. Aries lie to protect themselves. It's one of the most powerful defense mechanisms that they have of being the baby of the zodiac, is because of the fact of people perceive them as being naive. They don't know no better. They're a baby. That's why I tell people, stop insulting your baby's intelligence, because children are very smart. All right, just take that information as you will. Okay. Thank you for confirmation. There is something you must know about your articulate, but there is no wrong seeing. Everything exists in an energetic potential. As the energy changes, the outcomes you see will change as well. Be open to receiving and patient to your interpretations. Trust yourself, for you are the oracle of your eternal life. The affirmation says, more and more, I trust in my own intuitive process. I open to Spirit's guidance and understanding the messages I receive. Now, let's get back to the message. A lot of you guys are overthinking a lot. Why don't you just allow the experience to unfold to what it is? That's my question to you. I'm saying that because I've had to ask myself that. Why don't I just enjoy the experience that I'm having? Why do I need to make it more than what it is? Say what I need to say. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. There's a point in time where you don't realize that just because you've actually set yourself up in your boat, in your canoe, right? That's why you flow better. The action that you put in order to build in a canoe, to building your tube, to allowing the weight to be balanced, the action you put into allowing yourself to flow matters. It matters. Whether you know it or not, it matters. So now, oh, excuse me. Thank you for confirmation. It matters. Oh, damn. calming the waters, peaceful self-regulation. This gives me Empress energy. Then we got grateful optimism, joyful view of the future. I think we read this in one. We read that in one. As you guys can see, a lot of the controversy that's happening in the public, it's all being revealed with facts. There hasn't been a read that I've heard yet that hasn't been with facts. But you know another thing that I feel like a lot of people are doing right now, if you want me to be honest, they're taking a lot of words and things very personal. They're taking a lot of things personal. Y'all should have brushed my hair. It's cool. They're taking a lot of things personal. They can't help themselves. They're taking it very personal. Well, we'll get to the astrology in a second. They're taking your growth personal. They're taking your quietness personal. They're taking your movement personal. People are taking things very personal. They're taking people's opinions about things personal because of the fact of it's triggering. There's a lot of triggering energy happening for a lot of people. And they're not allowing themselves to process their emotions through the trigger. I hear that. They're not allowing themselves to process through the trigger. It's funny because this card didn't come out, but I turned to it. So let me read this because this has been coming up. The color green's been coming up a lot lately, which is the heart, okay? It says healing the heart, the power of self-love. This card got something to do with this. The priestess of personal power brings you a message of hope and healing. That's another thing that God has been having me read. He's been having me read verses from the chapter of hope. And you know, Aquarius is the star, which is hope. Damn, do I got a book? I think the book over there. Hold on. One second. Because this got something to do with what I'm talking about. Oh, shit. Hold on. Okay. Okay. The star says, expectations fulfilled, wishes granted, opportunities, healing after traumatic events, knowing you are on the right path, inspiration, and renewed hope. The shadow side, so basically the star in reverse says, loss of faith, diminished hope, disappointment, missed opportunities, and despair. It says, sink into the dreamlike inspiration of the star. She sends a message of divine timing and renewed hope, and she guides you to reach for that string of serendipity and faith. Your future is increasingly bright, and you are blessed by the universe. Your core purpose is beginning to bubble at the surface of your reality. Your path is intricately tied to your biggest mission and brightest opportunities for expansion. Because Pisces season is going to be about Sagittarius energy of expansion. My hand's dry. Y'all, one thing about it is I noticed everything I'm on the what you call it. But anywho. It says, step onto a path of fulfillment and happiness with starlight to guide you. Allow your intimate essence to shine through any residual darkness right now. Uncover any limiting beliefs or self-doubt that you are holding on to. Find the courage to voice any unexpected emotions and release every bit of outgrown energy that is anchoring you to the past. It is time to release and ascend. As you let go, you will focus on the future and you will find your biggest source of inspiration and love. The stars are aligning in your favor. It is time to trust. The affirmation says, I expect miracles. Okay? Now, think about what I just read and then let's get into this one. It says, sacred geometry encases her upper four chakras with the lower circle moving through her heart center. This represents the healing energy coming to lift you up and bring you to true peace and personal power. The priestess reveals the inner strength you can call upon to overcome past heartbreaks that may have left you hurt and feeling of longing. The pain can be from a recent breakup or it may be the lingering aches from a loss from a love lost long ago. The scars in the heart center might even relate back to misinformation or mistreatment in childhood. In fact, issues of rejection, abandonment, or even betrayal may be driving your present perspective on love. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Not processing through your triggers is what's causing a lot of y'all a lot of stagnancy. Some of you guys are shrugging shit off. Like, you know what? Like, I posted this on Twitter last night. I said, you know, I be overthinking about things because I don't know. Like, instead of me just like trusting my intuition of what really happened, instead of trying to figure out somebody else's actions, like that causes a lot of like overthinking. That causes a lot of self-doubt. That causes a lot of like stress. It does. It does. You know what I'm saying? Trying to figure out somebody else's actions of the why they do certain things, that causes a lot of stress. You need to figure out what about what they did triggered you and then release it. That's probably one of the biggest things that I've been able to do, that I'm appreciative that I've done, because like, who got time to be thinking about why you did what you did? Okay? All right, here we go. These past experiences have caused a shutting down reaction and emotional resistance to love in spite of your mental desire for it. This explains Aquarius to the T of what I'm talking about. Now is the time to heal the old heart wounds and reverse the faulty conclusions that are actually blocking your desires. The circle of consciousness and thought represents your higher intentions where love is concerned. Within each powerful vortex of personal energy is the expanding strength of your relationship with yourself. You always have the choice to love and care for yourself, to vent your frustrations and take action on your own behalf. When you consciously release old fears and desperate needs, you will awaken the strong person within, and your daily life force will project waves of joy and confidence, two truly irresistible energies in the universe. I told y'all, one thing I realized, that confidence is a power. It's a power. It gets you whatever you want in life as long as you have confidence, not arrogance, confidence. Yeah. And you know what I realize is, y'all need to pay attention to when you are like, okay, ooh, this gonna really boggle some of y'all mind. During this process, a lot of you guys have been placed into people's life very quickly for a reason, to teach them something and then to dip. You were never supposed to stay there long. Just remember that. The affirmation says, it is safe and comfortable for me to love and to be loved. I live in my personal power, loving and encouraging myself every day. One thing I want y'all to repeat to yourself is, it is safe and comfortable for me to love and be loved. Okay? Now, this peaceful self-regulation gives me the Empress. Man or woman, you guys are in a very Empressy royalty energy, because Libra has been coming up heavy, and Libra is the Empress, because Taurus and Libra, Taurus, we're always trying to jump into Scorpio energy of rebirthing things and changing things. In reality, they needed to learn how to love themselves through things. You know what I'm saying? And hold on. And since they hadn't learned how to love themselves, they didn't know how to actually dedicate themselves to relationships that were beneficial to them, that were helpful. You know, Taurus only knew how to, dedicate themselves to people that, you know what I'm saying, they were comfortable with. Dedicate themselves to people that, you know what I'm saying, they had a sense of loyalty to. But them people were not loyal to you. You were trying to do things and fix things, you know what I'm saying, for trying to, you know what I'm saying, trying to show out behind people. In reality, you don't even have that same drive for yourself. You go hard for everybody else but yourself. You're trying to, you know what I'm saying, you're trying to look good for everybody but yourself. Like, that don't make no sense. So that's why this Empress energy stepped in of like, you know what I'm saying? Like, no, I want to look good because I feel good. I want to look good because, you know what I'm saying? Like, it makes me feel better. Like, getting what you want. You know what I'm saying? Like, trying to buy the new designer bag, trying to do this to, you know what I'm saying, to look good in front of people. That's you just trying to be validated. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not even doing the things that are like truly beneficial to you. Like, you know what I see? I see a lot of energy with Aquarius of like, you know, like doing certain things so the people in their community, so they can be accepted, instead of them doing things to set the tone. You guys were supposed to learn how to set the tone. That's an energy that I feel like has been lacked. You weren't setting the tone. You were supposed to be setting the bar, setting like you trying to, you know, something tells me that you trying to follow behind people in a way of validation instead of setting the bars that people what you call it to you, you know? Hold on. Hold on. That's a big thing. It's a really big thing. Hello. I'm recording a video for work. Can I call you when I get done? Okay. What are you doing? You about to what? Cooking? Oh, okay. Well, I'm gonna call you as soon as I get done recording. All right, bye. All right, but that's a big thing to pay attention to. Set the bar. Some of you guys, you set the bar, and you know what's so crazy? I don't want you guys to think about this, but I want y'all to think about this. If you knew how much chaos is happening around you, like, don't think about that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to have you think about chaos, but if you knew how much chaos was happening around you, that would make you go 10 times harder for yourself. If you knew all the energy that the energy you cultivated cause other people in your community, whether you know it or not, if you knew how much chaos was happening around you, you would go 10 times harder for yourself instead of thinking of other people. Some of you guys, you in boss mentality. You're war ready. War ready. This is the chaos that a lot of you guys moved away from. There's angelic assistance coming quickly. Everything's been happening very quickly. Whether you feel like it's happening quickly or not, because you know, spiritual time and earthly time are two different times. Things happen, you know what I'm saying? Like, things happen quickly up there before they happen down here. But I told y'all, Pisces season is the as above, so everything has to be below. And I accidentally said in one of my videos that we're coming out the spiritual, and I misspoke. We're coming out the physical. You're not leaving out here with nothing. Another horse. You know, since we are working with the third eye, the heart, and the solar, I think that's what I said. You know, since we are working with those three chakras, I feel like there is this energy of people are they're having a hard time working with them together. Like, they don't know how to work with the confidence, the love, and the higher perspective. I feel like there's this conflict happening between all three of them, because those are the middle three. And it's the fact that it's one physical, it's the portal, and then it's the spiritual. I think that's causing a lot of people a lot of like weariness. You know what I'm saying? Like, where they're not thinking. Remember, I kept trying to tell you, your mind and your heart need to be on the same accord. It's causing a lot of like uproar. Another thing I want everybody to pay attention to is, if you have Lilith somewhere in, like, if you have Lilith in Gemini, and then you have Gemini in your third house, pay attention to that. Because I told you, how y'all release things in the third house is how you recovered in the ninth house, okay? And wherever you have Lilith, Lilith is bringing power back to you because of something that you said. So, like, whatever you have in your third house, like, okay, just follow me. Whatever you have in your third house, okay, whatever that planet rules, you've released something that Lilith is going to bring power back, okay? And then wherever you have Lilith in your chart, she's she's clearing a path of what the truth is for you to live in your power, or something like that. Lilith is bringing power. That's her thing. And the issue behind that is a lot of people see. That's why I said Aquarius is about the 8th house, because people, they want their power. They're weak. You know, people that like, they need power. People that need power in this lifetime is because they've gone lifetimes of being weak. People that gain power through the Lord, that's because they've been powerful every lifetime. That's why I kept trying to tell you, you're not built like that. You need power in this lifetime. You crave it. You crave power so bad that you'll do anything for it. Those that don't need it, they get it based off of like being anointed or being, you know what I'm saying, blessed and stuff like that. Like, you can tell. I told you spiritual esteem was a big thing. People have a very low spiritual esteem. Pre-recognition, psychic ability, future vision, and then twin flame. Y'all know, let's not get too heavy on the twin flame word, but this is what I meant by I tell y'all that she's bringing power, dynamic duos. Eternal connection with God, eternal life. You know, another thing I want to go ahead and just like put this out there. Release what's going on in the media. Release what's going on in the media. It's starting over like COVID again. A whole bunch of just random information. There's a lot of silence is power. I don't know why I had to take a pause like that, but silence is power. Some of y'all need to learn that. You know what I feel like the misinterpretation from that, because you know that comes from a contradiction. Thank you for confirmation. You know, a lot of y'all, when it's time to be silent about things, that's when it's like a lot of you aren't comfortable with silence. And it's funny that the pattern just came up at 114. We're going to look that angel number up. But it says, the pattern says confidence in action. Today you may feel a boost of confidence. This is an incredible time to believe in yourself and show the world what you're capable of. There's an energy encouraging you and others around you to believe in what you want to achieve. Part of this involves having gratitude for how far you've come on your journey and continuing to contribute positively to the world and lives of others. Right now, you are meant to be open to receiving and in a state of flow. Thank you. If you're feeling any resistance, perhaps take a step back and think about what areas in your life which you need to release control. This is a good time to clarify your vision and focus on the growth you can gain by taking a risk instead of thinking about potential pitfalls. No matter what path you take, you will always be learning. Even if there is unexpected turns along the way, take a step forward into the unknown and believe that you have a safety net underneath you. What did I tell you? Some of you guys are not okay with the silence. It's causing you a riffraff. And you know, another thing is, let me go ahead and give y'all a tip for women. A lot of y'all need to step back into feminine energy. It's been all this talk about like this and that, and you know, you need to make sure you do this. But you know, a book that I read the other day was Hoe Tactics. Being flirtatious, that's normal woman things. Calling a man, that's a normal woman, female thing. Well, you know, feminine thing. Sorry, I'm not trying to disrespect anybody. It's a normal feminine thing to call a man, to text a man, okay? Yes, yes, if he is showing a sense of like, you know, emotional unavailability, of course you don't run, but like what I want women to understand is if you want a man that makes so much money or has some shit going with his life, that means he's going to be busy. So why would you just sit around in an arms fold? Oh, well, Call him. Text him. You know, what I'm realizing is so many of these men are spiritually learning who do they need to give their energy to. But they haven't never dealt with somebody that's actually spiritually welcoming. They've only dealt with somebody that's physically welcoming. So like women that open their legs, women that are very like, persuasive with their words. They haven't energetically been let in by a woman of a feminine energy. It's always a transactional or a tack for tick for tack type of thing. They've never really like, just calling a man and being like, what I'm saying? Like, I was thinking about you and like, what I'm saying? Like, I just want to see your face and like all this stuff. Like, that's feminine qualities. Y'all need to go read y'all need to go read Hoe Tactics. Just go read that book. Okay. And don't get too hung up on the hoe part. It says, angel number 114 encourages progressive changes, renewal, and growth, and tells you to share your knowledge and wisdom with others. It's a symbolism of growth and change. It indicates a season of renewal. Yeah, y'all need to change that. Empress aren't mean. They yeah, you can have a little bit of an attitude. You could be a little spicy, but like, you know what I'm saying? It's not abnormal for you to rub a man's head and rubbing his arms and, you know what I'm saying? Like, allow your energy to gravitate of like, I'm telling you, it's based off the experience. If you focus more on the experience instead of the aesthetic, you guys will actually have a very more like interesting dating life. You know what I'm saying? It makes me think of when I had seen on TikTok about having a diversified like roster. You know what I'm saying? Having a VP, having a artist, having a musician, having like a director, having a tech person, like, because it allows you the common denominator between all those men is you. So it's not like I only mess with scammers. Have a scammer on the roster. Have a businessman on the roster. So that means that when you want to do hood rat shit, you might do it with your scammer. When you want to go to Paris, thank you. When you want to go to Paris and you want to go to, 5-star restaurants and shit, you do that with your VP. Or hell, you might actually get a VP that takes you to do hood rat shit and he loves it. He just wants to see you in your element. He loves the way you look. He loves your hair. He loves you dancing. He loves when you doing all this. You're having fun. That needs to be a big thing for y'all when y'all get into Pisces season, because Pisces has a lot of Sagittarius energy to it. I don't know if y'all can see that, but I feel like my aura is showing right now. It is. Oh, I'm so grateful. Oh, I'm so grateful. I feel like my aura is showing right now, and I love that for me. Amen. But I want to touch base on that, because it's just been so much of like, you need to do this, and you need to do that. Like, it's just so much of just like, damn girl, be normal. And if it don't work, get another one. Same thing with men. A lot of these niggas is lover boys, bro. They're lover boys. They're lover boys. They wanna pull your hair a little bit and, you know what I'm saying, run away from you, and like they actually really like you and shit like that. Like, they're lover boys. They want to bring you little Valentines and they want to bring you cards and they want to do that things. I told, it's so funny. I said independent women need lover boys. A lot of y'all want to be submissive so bad. You want to be dainty and delicate and all this ditzy shit. And that's why you end up getting these dumbass niggas. Men, real men, are not intimidated by your power. They are fascinated. They want to glorify you. They are intrigued by you. They like it. They like that you know what I'm saying, you're a little bit of a unicorn. They like that you know what I'm saying, you rap Future in the club. I told y'all that the charming energy that y'all got from y'all dad, that's what y'all needed to release, not your authentic version of you. That was actually liked by people. Remember that. This full moon in Leo has shown you where you've been showing your ass in the worst ways. You was trying to show out. You was trying to stretch your mane and not even realizing that your mane had volume to it without you even having to do too much. I see that. And I even had to recognize that in myself of like, I'm trying to overshake a mane that's huge on me. Let me chill. Let me relax. That energy is needed right now. You need to relax. Look, fourth house, like I said, home. Thank you. Thank you. You know, I hear that TikTok. I think I like... Hold on. I think I like when it rains. You told me to go to the light. Is that what he says? You told me to go to the light and what it's like to feel your pain. Now I'm okay if you're all right. I start to wonder why I came. I dreamed of things you said to me. We stayed at your place while it rains. We talk, we laugh, and watch TV. And I couldn't find the words. I couldn't think of what to say. All that I could do is stop and think of the days when all we used to dream about was meeting after school and we could go home and start right back again. I think I like when it rains. Call up some friends and have some fun. Oh Lord, I wish things were the same nowadays. We'll go back to your place and we'll go back to your place when we're done. And I got nothing else to blame. I wish the words would come to me. We stay at your place while it rains. I'm trying to tell you, that is the energy that I feel. Teenage love. Flirtiness. I told you need to be more flirty. You know what I'm saying? Like, you remember, I don't know. I just feel like you feel like home, nurturing, Cyrus. This went into retrograde in Libra. This is when I try to tell y'all that those we problems and me problems, a lot of people were trying to make we problems that. So that's what I'm trying to say. Pay attention when people are trying to make their problems your problems. You're dealing 5111 on the clock. You're dealing with somebody that doesn't want to do dates. That's a them problem, not a you problem. So you go be with somebody that actually wants to do dates. You know, what another thing I realize is a lot of men have wasted their time nurturing the wrong connections. So like they're trying to dip their hand out because a lot of them want to feel what they felt when they first loved somebody. And women are wanting to feel the fairy tale part of it. You know, like the guy that like he brings the umbrella out the car and comes and gets you in the rain. You know what I'm saying? Or like he kisses you at the front door. He opens your door. Those are the things that you have to be in the energy to receive, because men that don't feel comfortable to do that won't. The guy that tells you, you know what I'm saying? He comes out to the gas station and pump your gas for you. You know what I'm saying? Or the one that like sends you little cute gifts. He buys you flowers. Like you have to open yourself up to that energy, being in a sense of you demand that in a way of your energy. You know, a lot of women, I realize that we rather a man read our minds. They're not like that. If you like flowers, tell him you like flowers. If he doesn't buy you flowers, you need to go find you a nigga that buys you flowers. You know, we want somebody to ask us to be our Valentine, but have you ever told somebody that you want to be asked? You know, a lot of men just be like, oh, you know, you're my girlfriend, so that's how it works. No, you tell them, I want you to ask me. You want me to be your Valentine? Ask me to be your Valentine. Your reign is change. You have to create the change. I'm telling you, there's a flipping energy. There's a flipping energy. And I don't know why I'm talking about this, because there's a flipping energy. I told them that a lot of y'all are getting prepared for divine love, either with yourself or with another person. A lot of y'all are getting ready to date in healthy ways. It's happening. Cuffing season actually will be the springtime, if you want me to be honest, because it's all about procreation. Scorpio, that's two things of change. Mystery. 7th house, relationships. What's that? Rebirth twice. That's rebirth twice. 7th house again. This reading is turning for a loop with the love right now. There's a lightness happening that I feel like it's going to be based off perspective. A lot of people don't feel lighthearted right now, and that's because their heart is being weighed out with God. You know, they always say your heart has to be light as a feather to get into heaven. That's how it is. Heaven on earth. Your heart has to be light as a feather to have this heaven on earth experience. So like, you know, allowing things to flow and be released, that's a indication of being lighthearted. You know what I'm saying? Not being in the spirit of, oh, fuck that nigga ain't shit. Like, just being like, you know what? It's cool. Blocking somebody, like just vanishing them from your life because it just didn't work out. That's cool. A lot of y'all, you open your heart and close it off very quickly. Instead of just, you know what I'm saying? Instead of you just closing the chapter, you close the whole book. Close the chapters. Learn to do that with people going forward. Close chapters, not books. Chapters have to end, so let them end. Was that rebirth again? It sure was, but I ain't gonna take it. Uranus is a big thing. The 4th house is going through something. The 8th house, like I said, Uranus is ruled by Aquarius, which is the 11th house. And ooh, damn, what other card had came out? The Cyrus. That's another thing that y'all need to pay attention to because it's in retrograde. This is helping you nurture closing of chapters instead of having to close the books. And this is also helping your flow of money. Tiger, fire. Like I told you, we're in fire energy. White stage, the protector. The swan, grace. And the peacock, vibrancy. If this ain't everything that I done talked about, the fire is the confidence and the drive in you. It says here, it says, I choose to be unstoppable. My passion is my power. I am bold. I am brave. Mighty forces come to my aid. Then you got the protector. You are an old soul. Your best friend is nature. Use your intuition to take you where you want to go. The key word is in that where you want to go, not where you need to go. Where do you want to go? Remember I told y'all that when Mercury goes into Aquarius, y'all can go travel because it's because since Aquarius had been learning a spiritual growth, now they're going to where they feel called to go. So like, you know, like let's say you want to travel to this city, is now you feel called to go there because that's where you're about to move, or you feel called to go to Japan because that's where your soulmate is. Like you just watch, and also pay attention to where people are inviting you. Awaken to the powerful force within you. You are meant to create blessings with your magic. Grace, the swan. You who guides across the waters of my soul, bring me your wisdom and light. Help me transform into elegance and grace. Inspire me with dignity and the spirit of beauty, Empress. Then you got the peacock, vibrancy. You were born to shine and inspire. That's inspired twice. Hold on, let me make sure it wasn't in here. The fact that it says you are meant to create blessings with your magic, that's inspiration. That's a muse. I remember telling them about an alter ego or something like that. It's something about your alter ego is your muse. And being somebody's muse is to be their inspiration. Hold on. The definition of a muse says each of 9 goddesses. Okay, no. A person or personified force who is the source of inspiration for creative artistic. Oh, for a creative artist. Lord, let me stop adding words to stuff. A source of artistic inspiration. Adaption would be adapting to something that you are inspired by. A lot of you guys, that's why I was trying to tell you about them it girls. You know, people will be the it girl because of their confidence, because of their elegance, because of their grace, because of their happiness, because of their joy, because of their intellect, because it's because of what they do. And it's because of how they do things, not what they do. How you handle business, not what you do. So that's why I say you can't bite off them it girls because of it's how they do it. You can't be like them. You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to be yourself, your own je ne sais quoi. That's why the peacock comes out as vibrancy. It says patience, practice humility to avoid jealousy. Be grateful for life and more good things will come. Be true to yourself and recognize your brilliance. You know, peacocks don't really compete with each other. And look at the bottom of the deck, personal choice. What animal do you choose to be? Another thing I want y'all to pay attention to is, I had been telling everybody, but like, you need to look back at some of the things that you wrote from May to July. May and July are two big parts of the energy. Gemini and Cancer season have a lot of energy that is resurfacing. Thank you, excuse me. Because some of the things that you wrote are going to happen now, or some of the goals that you had are going to happen now. Some of the rewards from the lessons that you learned back then are going to happen now. Other things that you might have started then are going to take off now. Okay. So I'm going to say from Gemini season. So Gemini season is a little bit of May too. So, but let's just go from Gemini season to July. So no, really Cancer season, not even Leo season. It's Cancer season. When I was going back through my journal to look up certain things, I stopped at Leo season. And also another thing I want y'all to pay attention to is pay attention to from the A8 portal is Leo season, but something about the A8 portal is unraveling. Hold on. 1 second. I'm trying to get my words together. You know what I find interesting in this reading is I haven't touched base on other people as much. I haven't touched base on the past. I feel like I'm only giving you energy for what you need to expect going forward. Something about from now going forward doesn't matter, and nobody can take it from you. So you were supposed to enjoy the time to yourself so you could adapt to this energy, because at the very moment that something from the past starts to come up, you did it. It don't even bother you. Something about that. Because if Mercury's going into the Aquarius, and Aquarius, as we read at the beginning of what the Aquarius card means about releasing the past, that means that your thoughts and how you speak don't need to be of the past. So for some reason, you know, it makes me think of when Monique says, say their names. And if you can't say their names, leave it on the playground. A lot of the past energy that y'all have, they have that mentality where they're touching on something that they can't say their names, and they have to, there's a lot of playground. You need to leave a lot of things on the playground. Old situations with people. If you and somebody are reconnecting, leave it on the playground. Let it go. It happened then, it happened before, let it go. Shit ain't hitting on shit now. People trying to bring up things of like who you are now, like basically like something about like where you are going. It's going to bring a lot of controversy from the past because of the fact of, first of all, I told you, people going to have to eat what they said. Something about how Pisces and Sagittarius, I told you, Sagittarius energy was that you're going to have to stand on what you said and what you did. Stand on that shit. And what I feel like is going to happen, that Mercury is in Aquarius, it's going to bring out people's low spiritual esteem that it comes with. I'm telling you, a lot of envy. Envy is going to be real bad, okay? The reason why I say this 8-8 portal is because on the 10th, Mercury in Capricorn conjuncts Pluto in Capricorn, okay? Capricorn is like the devilish energy, but it's also that Pluto that we got a rebirth. So this, it's funny that Mercury in Capricorn is doing something with Pluto. So basically, it's literally killing off anything that no longer is beneficial or healthy for you. It's a double homicide, okay? Mental quickness is at top speed today as we can solve any problems that come out our way. Show your clever solutions to your bosses for a boost in reputation. This is when I told y'all, people that were friends and they out here talking about people, you're really killing your own juice. Because a lot of people have you problems. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're creating us problems with the you problem, because like I always tell people, when is the last time you spoke to that person? Because based off that one answer, when the last time you spoke to them already identifies who's actually healed and who isn't. Relationships that are still having, conversations about the ex and having like all this toxicity things come up. I'm telling you now, the number one question of when is the last time you spoke to that person is going to identify a lot. I always tell people, if you ever hear somebody talking about me, ask that person, when is the last time that they've spoken to me? There are people in my life that haven't spoken to me in over 2 years that still try to pop up in my energy. And it's just like, let it go, sweetie. Let it go. I'm telling you, a lot of people are having a hard time processing their emotions. So what they're doing is they're dwelling on the situation. They're dwelling on the person. They're dwelling on how they felt when that situation happened, instead of trying to process the energy so they can release it. They can't do that. So they rather stay in the mindset, well, he cheated on me and I just did it. Bitch, you stayed with a nigga that cheated on you. Let this shit go, mamas. Well, she just, she just stopped talking to me. We were just good friends. You were jealous of her, sweetie. Like, you just pay attention. Pay attention. This is a big thing of your reputation. You trying to drag somebody else's energy in the mud is only making you look bad, because people are going to see and feel your energy of animosity. You're going to look crazy. When Mercury goes into Aquarius, so many people are going to look crazy. You're going to look crazy. With men and women, you're expecting certain things. You're going to look crazy. So can we just leave this shit on the playground and move forward? Valentine's Day being with Mercury and Aquarius, a lot of y'all gonna look crazy. You look crazy. That nigga ain't been your nigga all year. You look crazy. A man that you've been kicking it with, you've been having sex with all these months, he don't do nothing for you for Valentine's Day, and you really get the nerves to like go cuss him out, say certain things. You look crazy. You look crazy. I'm telling you now, you just look crazy. I want to release us out this chokehold. I do. I need us to release us out this chokehold of entitlement of people. Let it go. They always say it's not good to be toxic, but everybody has that person that they kind of go back and forth with. You guys never really had no big beef, but you just always, it's just this weird thing of like, you guys are never on the right path, on and off bay. I think a lot of y'all need to accept the on and off bay as of like okay, hold on. Because a lot of y'all have been going through cycles with some person, and it's not like you guys are learning from each other. You guys are learning through each other. So a lot of y'all need to just go through the process, like go date other people, go have fun. You know what I'm saying? When you and this person are meant to come back together, whether it's friends, family, if you are meant to come back with this person, then allow it to happen. But I'm trying to tell you, have fun through the process. It's all a part of the process. And God keeps saying the process. Something about processing is a big thing. And they always say, like, when orders happen, we need time to process your order. We need time to process something about that. And another reason why I say that is because Palace is going to go direct into Cancer. It says, after a few shaky months, we finally head back into our roots when asteroid Palace goes direct in Cancer. It's a good time to gain wisdom from our elders and decorate our space with art. Process. You get a new apartment and you try to rush to get all these things. Bitch, enjoy the apartment. It's a process to actually decorating it. I was talking to somebody and it was really beautiful to hear him say, when I moved to this apartment, I wanted to do something different. So I started to watch YouTube videos of how to decorate my house. The process. The definition of a process says a series of actions or steps taken in order to achieve a particular end. A summons or writ required a person to, oh, we're not going to worry about that. That's for the law. Sorry. Thank you for confirmation. A lot of y'all going on trips. A process is a series of actions which are carried out in order to achieve a particular result. A lot of y'all going on a trip. Real soon. You've been preparing, getting little things so you can go on the trip. Nine of Swords. I give myself away for you. Hold on. I hear that gospel song because the Nine of Swords just came out. But the only thing, I didn't get stressed with this. I didn't get stressed with this. I give myself away. So you can use me. Give myself you can use me. I give myself away. And it says, here I am. That Nine of Swords don't come give me stress. It gives me like, I'm going to give myself away. So you can use me. Least resistance. Floating in the air. Tell me where y'all, send me pictures where y'all going. Send me pictures where y'all going. Y'all are being guided to go places. What would I say? Angelic assistance. All right, let's wrap this message up. The Hangman's in reverse. I give myself away. Ascension. That's twice. Send me a postcard. I'm telling you, I keep hearing that. I'm going out in the deep. Don't care what I see. I believe God. I'm going out in the deep. Ooh, hold on. We got to play that real quick. We got to play that real quick. Oh, you know another thing that's coming up is family is having to eat a lot of their words and actions. Families having to eat their words and actions. I'm going out in the deep. I can't go by what I see. I believe God. I'm gonna do it again. Going out in the deep. Can't go by what I see. I believe God. I'm gonna do it again. I'm going out in the deep. Can't go by what I see. I believe God. I'm gonna do it again. Going out in the deep. Baby, do you believe God? Do you believe God? Like, talk to me for a second. Let me talk to you for a second. Do you believe God? Do you believe what's about to happen? Do you believe what's about to happen? Do you think you've been going through an energy of refreshing energy to be let down, disappointed? You believe God? I believe God. I'm excited. You know why I'm excited? Because I ain't been getting ready for nothing. I ain't had my head down for nothing. I haven't been put in predicaments of knowing to go back into a sense of, I don't know. I know. For once in a lifetime, God wants his children to finally be in I know. You don't know how, but you know what. And God says, I need you to know what. I need you to know what you want to do, where you want to go, how you want to move. I want you to know that. Now, how it happens to you, let me take care of that. But what is happening, I want you to know. You talk like you're moving. People talking about, oh, what you gonna do? Oh, I'm not moving. Oh, where you gonna move to? I don't know yet. I think I'm just gonna travel the world, become nomad. I'm gonna get a new job. Yeah, talk like it, because that's what you want to do. See, we mistake the things that the Lord tells us because we feel like, oh, well, if I say something, somebody gonna kill it. Somebody gonna, fuck it up. It fucks it up when you start telling people details. When you start telling people what you gonna do, you said what you meant what you said. Nobody can mess this up but you. See, we mistakenly, we used to tell people details about downloads and dreams and shit. Now you telling people, yeah, I'm getting ready to move. You don't even know where the fuck you moving to. You don't know how you're going to get there, but you getting ready to move because that's what you said. That's what you see. That's what you're going to do. Yeah, that's what's going to happen. See, when people start asking more details about it, that's when you start being strategically lying of like, yeah, I'm moving to Japan. I don't fucking know. I don't know. That's just something I heard God kept saying about strategically lying. Because not everybody right now is in the energy of hate towards you. They're not bad for you. But at the same time, you don't let your left hand know what your right hand doing. Throw it off. What my thing is, what is the downfall of throwing somebody off? When everything finally happens, you finally tell them the truth. They be, oh, what happened? Oh, I changed my mind. The fuck? Who cares? Like, who the fuck cares? Okay? So, I love y'all. Let's leave off with a Bible verse. I have learned to sense what is vital and approve and prize what is excellent and of real value, recognizing the highest and the best and distinguishing the moral differences, that I may be untainted and pure and unerring and blameless, so that with a heart sincere and certain and unconcealed, I may approach the day of Christ, not stumbling nor causing others to stumble. I abound and am filled with the fruits of righteousness, of right standing with God and right doing, which come through Jesus Christ, the Anointed One, to honor and praise God, that his glory may be both manifested and recognized. Philippians 1:10-11. And this is the book of integrity. Do things with integrity. That's it. That's it. God knows when you protecting something, when you finessing something. God knows that. You know what I'm saying? God knows that, okay? So just pay attention. I love you guys. Toodles.